to you. It's 7:33. Sheriff Brad Kunkel's here because it's the first Monday of the month, and he's usually here the first Monday of the month unless he blows us off.
Well, let's be fair.
You haven't earned it in a while, so.
How you doing?
It's a rough morning to be a deer by the way the radio sounds, and somebody hit one just right out here on
we saw
Road,
that coming in. It must have happened overnight.
Or maybe was it there when you came in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On my way down here, I had two different little bucks cross the road, and then between the time I left my house and here, I think two of my deputies were dispatched to two different car deer accidents. So it's just a reminder, it is that time of year, especially late afternoon or first thing in the morning, but the deer are really moving. And frankly, the bucks are probably a lot of nocturnal movement too, so just watch out.
I can
well,
see
they're
them.
rutting, aren't they?
Yeah, so the ruts come in here.
I remember when I those were the days.
Now, Steve, no, you don't. You don't remember. you remember the concept.
Yeah, it's between all the the corn gets picked, so it moves everything around. But then it's the rut is going on. So geez Louise, watch out. Because
and they will rut with anything. One of my best stories is I was driving in here, and a deer rutted with my car.
Oh,
yeah, seriously. I had a Ford Probe at the time.
Well, they got probed, all right.
yeah.
So I mean, no, they will. They'll.
Well, yeah, they don't. The bucks get so focused on chasing does. I mean, what happens? A lot of people be driving, they'll see one, crossing the road with its nose down, just walking, like not even paying any attention because they are so blind to everything else.
A cell phone.
It's the equivalent, yes. Yep.
Well, there's that area over there by the VA hospital when I come in overnight where there's a ton of them in that general area. And you're right. They just walk across the street like they're not paying attention and they're so used to cars they really don't they're not fearful of them anymore.
No, the town deer are much different.
Yes.
The town deer and the country deer.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, so you just got to be careful and with the time change, you're getting out there.
This whole time change, I am so messed up. So I feel like most of the time changes on the weekend that pheasant hunting starts, which was last weekend. So that caught me off guard. And then yesterday morning, my son wanted to go have breakfast somewhere, so we were getting ready to leave the house, and I'm back and forth moving around, and I swear I felt like the time was different depending on where I looked, and I didn't put it together. I'm like, it feels, I don't understand. And then realized, the time change was last night. And then we were like that all night, like 6 o'clock last night. My wife and I were both like, well, it feels like bedtime.
Right. I mean, it is.
It was so weird.
It just sucks.
Yeah. And then about 8:30, I finally said, I feel like we've been waiting to go to bed for like 2 hours now.
Well, yeah. And it's, you do that for a couple of days after the time change. Well, it's actually 8:30 instead of 7:30.
Exactly.
But it's 7:30 now, so we got to adjust accordingly. And your dogs and cats don't care.
That's funny you say that because our lab was up pacing around the bedroom. I don't even know what time it was. 3 o'clock probably. You don't really hear him walking, of course, but it's when he shakes his head and the collar jingles and gosh, just go downstairs.
So what time does the Kunkel household get moving in the morning on a regular day?
5:15, 5:30.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. We get up at the same time. My wife works out. I get up, kind of start my day, let the dogs out. So we're between 5 and 6 is when things start lighting up in our place.
Well, it was nice. It's nice seeing the daylight at around 6:30. That won't last too long, but at least it is for now.
It's funny. I thought that too, and I left this morning like, gosh, it's light out. And then coming here, just the way I come, this seemed like the sun was in my eyes most of the time.
Yeah.
But that won't last long either. It'll be dark at 4:45 before you know.
Sunday highs in the mid-30s.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually excited about that because I need to get firewood brought into the garage, but I want the hard freeze to kill the bugs that are out the wood. And I'm ready for the leaves to come off. It's a lot harder to bow hunt when all the leaves are on because I can't see everywhere. So I need all the leaves to come down so it makes my lines of sight a lot better. Well, it's the little things in life that you start looking forward to.
Well, there'll be a hard freeze. I think Sunday night and Monday night. It's supposed to stay in the 30s and 40s, and then move back up into the 50s next week sometime. So, yeah, it's fall weather, definitely, for sure.
About time.
You guys have any safety issues on Halloween or anything like that?
Not really. The jail was busy, like we were talking about. That's pretty normal. It was a busy Halloween. There were a couple shenanigans some of the deputies dealt with, Halloween related, but overall, it's just another weekend for us.
Yeah, it seemed to be a little bit more in the OWI arrest category and kids with fake IDs.
I'd say that's normal.
Yeah,
that's just what we run into.
It just seemed like there was more than normal this weekend compared to the previous weekends. But by weekend and Halloween, I'm sure had something to do with it.
Yeah, I can't imagine if there was a home game and Halloween. So fortunately, we had the weekend off.
Now, did you have a great Gatsby party at your house?
No.
Forget it. Don't worry about it. With this, the holiday season coming up, it also brings up scams, does it not?
Well, it's funny you say that. I did want to talk about scams. Last week, Hills Bank had a fraud seminar up in Cedar Rapids. Not how to commit fraud, how to prevent fraud.
Well, that's good.
Just to be clear. They did one last year that was pretty popular event, packed room. Myself, a Corville police officer came. We, from a law enforcement perspective, talked about frauds and scams. So this year, they did it again up in Cedar Rapids, and there were probably 300 people there. It was really targeted towards largely businesses and how businesses what they can do to prevent fraud. Check fraud's pretty rampant, and really the importance that you as whether you're the business owner or as an individual, the responsibility you have to protect your own money. There's only so many things the bank can do to safeguard your assets, but really, if somebody's stealing from you or trying to take advantage of you, it's on you to try and catch that or have a system in place to prevent it. And so that's really what the seminar was about, because we're still seeing significant amounts of check fraud, and one of a pretty big theme of the seminar, and something I was pressing very hard, was just if you're still writing a lot of checks, find ways to stop doing that so much. Because every time you write a check and send it out, you're now putting your checking account information into the wind, and there's no solid guarantee it's going to make it from you to who it's going to without being intercepted. Because that's how a lot of check fraud gets perpetrated. Somebody intercepts the check, and then they have your account number, they have your routing number. That's all they need to do all the damage they can to your account. So whatever you're doing, if you're writing checks, find other ways to do your transactions, do your accounts receivable, to do your bill pay electronically, and start trying to reduce the number of checks you're writing.
Some of the places that we deal with, for instance, our web provider, you would think our web provider would be able to do it electronically. They can't. They won't.
So
that's so weird. Yeah.
So one of the other things that if you are having to actually write a physical check and mail it, don't send it in an envelope with the little cellophane window on the front where everybody and their brother can tell that's a check in there. Maybe spend the extra money on some postage to send it in a manila envelope, some sort of other delivery. Because an example I gave the other day, the mail lands on my desk from time to time. I had a check in there from an entity that was for like $50-some thousand, and you could tell we have a check in this envelope, and you could clearly tell it just by looking through the cellophane. So, again, any movement that envelope is making through the process doesn't take anything for somebody along the way to take it, stick it, and then just lost in the mail. Never made it.
If you put KCJJ as a return address, the crooks know we don't have any money.
Right. It bounces the minute you pick it up.
So that's funny that you say that, because we were told that it's better to write a physical check than it is to donate and pay online, because scammers can hack into your accounts online. I guess it's one way or the other, right?
Kind of. I mean, the hacking tends to be something else happened before that allowed them access. Either, I'll give an example of a recent case we had. An individual gets a call from somebody claiming to be PayPal. and says, hey, your account's been compromised. We need to fix this. Need you to log onto your computer. So the person did, and then it gave that person remote access to their computer. Then they logged into their bank account, and they saw that $20,000 had now just showed up in their bank account. So the scammer said, okay, you need to go withdraw that money, and we need you to take that cash and then go put it into this Bitcoin machine, and things will be fine. So the person did, and then the next day the scammer called and said, hey, we couldn't get this rectified with the bank. We need you to go get another $20,000 and do this again. So the person did. Fortunately, family was able to intervene that time and actually found the person, like through the location on their phone, could see that where they were at, went and intercepted them as they were putting the money in the Bitcoin machine. The point is that the computer itself was compromised. Right. So a lot of time that's how it happens. Either it starts with some sort of like phishing or social engineering email where you click on the link, or somebody sends you the email. It looks official. It looks like it came from KCJJ. Everything. It's got your emblem. It's got your name. Everything looks the same, but maybe one number in the phone number is switched. Or I just saw one the other day where the email address looked like it said Microsoft.com, but it wasn't an M in Microsoft. Yeah. The R and the N at first glance looked like an M.
Yeah, you really have to be vigilant with that
stuff. You do.
Stuff.
So a lot of times that's how some sort of electronic hack starts. Or there's a data breach on, bust your computer. There's a data breach on the end of like that third-party provider. So there's a danger no matter what. If you're writing checks, my advice would be at least stop sending them in an envelope where people can tell what it is, physically deliver it, or, more and more, especially for donations, more and more nonprofits are doing like QR codes. Just do it that way.
Yeah.
Do it through some sort of electronic transfer where you can stop writing the check.
I get those. I get the PayPal. Well, I don't have PayPal, but I get it all the time, or I get you're running out of space, your photos are going to be, negated, all that. And I get it very seriously 3 or 4 times a day. I'll get a different one.
Yep. I had one the other day from a bank I don't bank at saying I had, $6,400 that needed rectified or something. And the scammers are good at spoofing phone numbers, and it'll come up on your phone looking like it's your local bank or your local credit union. I mean, that happens all of the time. It's on you to, I would say, if you're the person getting that call, the email, start from a place of suspicion. Like, basically, you prove to me I'm not being scammed. On the business side of things in particular, I really think it's important for people to have a good relationship with their bank. Have that trusted person in the bank you can call, because a lot of times we had another recent example of this where an entity had gotten an email and it looked like it was from a construction company, and it kind of even sounded like, and it was like, hey, we need to move this money to a different account or something along those lines. Something about it felt off, and this went on for a while. Finally, they called the construction company and just said, hey, I want to talk about this email you're sending. The company's like, what are you talking about? Have no idea. So they were this close. But all it takes is just pick up the phone, call that person at the bank, call that customer, and talk to them. You have to have a good relationship with somebody on the other end, because relying on that email chain just doesn't, you can't do that anymore. And especially if you authorize like an electronic transfer or a wire transfer, once that money is gone, once you send that money over that wire, you don't get it back. It is in the wind. So there's no way to pull that back. You have to make sure on the front end you did everything to make sure that was a proper, valid transaction.
There's also this time of the year when people play on people's emotions, and you get little Tommy is in the hospital, and if you don't send $5, we're pulling the plug. Or you got the Sheriff's Association of the universe is asking for your donations. A lot of that kind of scams going on.
Yeah, a lot of scams focus on your emotions. Sometimes it's like you mentioned, it could be a sick child or animals a lot of time, because animals really get
Oh, yeah.
people's emotions.
They sure do.
But also, they also plant emotions like fear and anxiety. So that's where a lot of the scams involving like the hey, grandma, I'm in jail, or if somebody calls and says, hi, Mr. Hunter, I'm so from the Marshal Service. You missed your notice for federal jury duty. You have an arrest warrant, and if you want to take care of this over the phone, you can't. That's how it starts, and they play on that trick your brain does to keep you scared, and they will keep you on the phone and so on. I mean, we've had people on the phone for hours and hours over the length of this scam where they're going to the bank, withdrawing cash. That's why even when you get that phone call, start from a place of suspicion and hang up the phone and call back. Call the number for a law enforcement agency your local, and then ask to talk to somebody. Ask the and work it back from there. But the Marshal Service isn't going to call you and say you have a warrant for missing jury duty, and to take care of it, you need to go get cash for Bitcoin or
a Walmart gift card.
Sure, but unfortunately, every once in a while that it works, and even if they make 20 calls a day, all they need is one person to get scammed out of $20,000-$30,000, and they've made a hell of a lot of money for the day. And this happens all the time. So just really impressing on people to be vigilant and be suspicious. And back to your point about this time of year, a lot of people send Christmas cards with maybe a little money in it or a gift card. Figure out another way to send that, or don't just put it in a standard card envelope with that check folded up inside, because people know, and they'll snatch them out of the mailbox, postal center. I mean, these things happen. So just please find other ways to send checks.
Also, people with Hispanic surnames are being scammed now. People will call, and I'm, with this nonprofit, and we're removing your name. We'll remove your name from the ICE list, and they won't come after you.
Sure.
For this much money, which, we're in the charity thing.
As long as you have, people who are marginalized, people are going to take advantage of them. I mean, that's just the way it is. We see that all the time. People trying to find ways to take advantage of marginalized people. It's horrible, but yeah, we see it all the time. Yeah, it's good news. Happy holiday season. But yeah, no, it was a good seminar. Largely focused on businesses because we do see a lot of businesses still are targeted a lot, whether it's their employees are targeted or check fraud, and then occasionally it's good old fashioned internal theft. We still see plenty of that going on.
Oh yeah,
where there's usually that's some sort of failure in like the basic accounting principles of either lack of dual controls, some sort of, all the money is in maybe one account, you don't have that second person looking things over. But any time where you've got just one person who's consolidated, whether it's by choice or by just they're the only one to do it, when it's just one person looking at the books, that's a recipe for disaster.
When I was at my previous station, we had a woman that you would have thought was the salt of the earth, and you had two children, and country gal and everything you would have never suspected. It took us for like $44,000.
Sure.
And since then, every morning, and he can attest to this, every morning I'm looking over the bank stuff.
Good. I mean, that's the hard way to learn that lesson. But the fact of the matter is those successful thieves are often very charismatic people and very, they're charming because they don't want.
We don't have any of that here.
They don't want you, everything's hunky dory, everything's fine. Look everywhere else, but right here, and that's the trap. One of the things I shared was I think anytime you have a changeover in your financial person or those key people, you should either do a full audit or at least some sort of spot check or some sort of, audit to at least try and identify if anything funny was going on. But also you're setting up that new person for success, because you don't want to have a new financial controller, a new bookkeeper come in and be either picking up the pieces, or they're a year or two into it, and then what they've been doing is somehow continuing something that was maybe even criminal that they inherited. So that's really the best time, is when you have that changeover, is to take a good hard look and make sure there's no red flags.
Well, one thing we didn't check over then was the purchase of office supplies. And there's office supply companies that will bonus people. If you sign up to do this and spend this exorbitant amount of money, we'll send you a refrigerator or something. Or they used to do that. I don't think that's.
Well, yeah, we
had.
She was buying like toner, like it was absolutely
like it was
like it was oil, oil stock. And and she was getting appliances, and things like that. And the office supply places has to know that something's.
Well, yeah, why is this radio station buying all this toner? They don't print anything,
right? But they're making their commission, so they're happy, and I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, there's all kinds of internal controls. Like here, I write the checks, but I don't sign them. And when Mr. Suter signs them, he always asks what they're for, unless he knows all ahead of time. And
then I always say, can we wait another year?
Can you post-date that?
It is constant, and people lose thousands, so you have to be vigilant. And I really think, like I said, start from a place of suspicion is really where you need to start. When you get that phone call, you get that email, pick up the phone and call somebody. Have that trusted relationship with somebody at the bank or the person that you know at company, whatever, so you can talk to them about this transaction.
Well, and you're inundated with all these great email specials, Hey, we can get you a spice rack with all these spices, just pay for shipping and we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
We got this overstock, and you think, oh, this is too good to be true. They want your debit card information, and next thing you know, you're...
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're cleaned out.
And no spice rack.
And these things target government too. What was it, last year or so? It was the ARPA funding up in between like the city of Dyersville and I think it was Dubuque County, where the county was supposed to be like the agent to distribute the ARPA money to a city. Well, there'd been an email exchanged about, hey, we need this money to go somewhere else. So they did, and then 6 months later, the city is asking the county, hey, where's our money? And they're like, well, we sent it to you.
Well, we get a lot of those.
Right. But this was like $500,000. These things happen.
Yeah. And I don't understand why people think that, eventually they're going to get caught. It's like the guy at the convenience store that's stealing. He's got 3 cameras pointing at him. He knows about it, or she knows about it, and they still steal. And then they think what is the plan? Why do they think they're going to get away with it?
It's probably going to be the old "these aren't my pants" excuse. Well, I don't know how this stolen property got in there.
One of the classic alibis of all time. These are not my pants.
Yep, right. That comes right after. Well, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I will never understand that.
I know,
but a lot of stores have cameras everywhere.
Not only stores, but just people. So many times random bystander video catches whatever the crime was in the background. Something happens over here. Well, 30 feet away, somebody was sending a Snapchat to their mom, and it captures something in the background. Or think of the amount of residents that have Ring doorbell cameras and Arlo everybody's got camera. That's kind of our standard anymore in law enforcement is something happens in a residential neighborhood. Well, really, you can just drive around and start looking at houses and see who's got cameras and start knocking on doors for that footage. And then a lot of people have dash cameras anymore. They become really affordable. And they're very helpful for us because we get, road rage is captured on them, a lot of crashes, you name it, it's captured on those cameras too. So
a lot of Eastern European countries started doing that because there were all these people running out in front of vehicles so they could sue people for damages and stuff. So
Well, and vehicles here that that set you up and then stop short, set you up for an accident.
Yeah, I mean, we've had, in like if we've tried to work with like a roads department or something and talk about an intersection, we've actually had video of a crash at an intersection to show here's the actual problem that we're seeing. It's one thing to see it on a diagram from an investigative report after the fact, but the video of the crash playing out is very, very powerful. So those things, you just never know where there's a camera anymore.
I'm at the First Avenue Mini Mall there, and I just got in my car and feel a bump like that. And didn't damage the car any, but I got out. I wanted to check, and I went over to the woman, and I said, well, I'm in a parking space. What? Well, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And she's still on her phone.
Oh, yeah.
I said, well, why don't you hang up the breaking phone and pay attention? And so she backs up, hits another car, and then tears out of there.
A few months, it's been longer than that, maybe 6-7 months ago, my son was at a friend's house in Iowa City, and he went to leave the house later that night. He's got a dent in his car. So they go back, and the people had a doorbell camera. It was from like the Papa John's guy or delivery guy or something, backed out, bumped into his car, and just drove away. So they're very helpful even for those fender benders like that. But yeah, the proliferation of cameras has really changed what we do. It's been very, very helpful.
I'd like a dash camera.
there you go.
Yeah.
Why don't you get on Amazon and get yourself one?
Can't you write that off?
Yeah.
Then get Tommy one. He can be like your mobile reporter.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They're pretty affordable. Christmas is coming.
What do they cost?
Well, they're not very expensive.
The ones we have are.
Well, I'm sure they. Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure.
yeah, but
I bet you could get one for under $100.
well, let's look. Amazon dash camera for cars. Ooh, there's one. It's front and rear.
Sure.
Okay. $129.
That's
There's
there you
one
go.
for $99.
It's a lot of pop cans, but I think you can do it.
Yeah, so it's pretty affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So where does it send it to? It sends it on the internet?
For us or for you?
For me.
I don't know. I don't know if they have cloud-based storage or if they just have like an SD card, a hard drive.
Some of them have like a little hard drive SD card you can pull out and download it to your computer.
Yeah, and then it's up to you how long you want to keep it. If it automatically overwrites, who knows? But yeah, they're pretty affordable.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like a detective.
Again, they are invaluable for what we do. You see a lot more of them in like commercial motor vehicles too. But I think some of that's to keep like the drivers accountable too, to make sure they're obeying the speed limit. It's a liability protector too.
Yep.
Well, always check, especially, and they do tug at your heartstrings for animals and for sick children this time of the year. Just check.
That's right. Just check. And if you're not sure, maybe ask somebody. Talk to somebody else.
Yeah, there's plenty of local places that do that kind of stuff.
Well, and you can even Google if it's, you can Google the charity, and if you don't find it on Google, that's a hint, or else.
Jim, but Jim, you make a good point. Most of the charities that somehow speak to us, there is, I don't guarantee there's a local version or arm of it here. So find the local one here, whether it's food, animals, crisis services, cancer, you name it. There's a local chapter or version of it here that your money could easily go to. And
well,
there's a phone
the
number
same
you can
thing
call.
with businesses. Somebody wants to repair your roof, or
for sure.
That's right.
Yeah,
we tend
Get
to see
the
the
local
roofing
person.
the roofing scammers come around after wind events, hail events. The derecho is a big one.
Absolutely, yeah.
We see the paving, these knuckleheads that do like paving scams in the summer. They still surface, I guess, from time to time. We see a lot of that where they'll maybe do a couple jobs or part of one, get a bunch of payment up front, and then they skip town.
Yeah, just be careful. That's all.
And back, one more thing, when they talk about playing on your emotions. They try and speak to urgency. Some sort of sense of urgency, like you need to do this now. This deal only lasts right now. It's kind of a basic sales tactic. But
Well, it's on every commercial, even the ASPCA commercials. We need your call in the next 9 minutes.
Yeah, or this cat's gonna,
Yeah.
not gonna make it or something. Like, they try and play on your sense of urgency, and just remember their urgency is not your urgency.
There you go.
If you would like to contribute to KCJJ in the next 5 minutes.
Just have them bring down cash. Yeah.
We don't send checks.
Yeah, we don't understand Bitcoin. We don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah,
Crypto
that's right.
means nothing to us.
Just good old cash.
Thank you,
Yep.
Sheriff.
Thanks, guys.
Mighty 1630 KCJJ.
From the Hertine and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the Mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.